creatures of the world, and welcome back to Coffee with Kerri-Lynn. It's a beautiful day in the far north of Maine, up along the Canadian border in the crown of Maine. I hope you guys are having an amazing summer day wherever you are. I hope you're able to be outside, enjoy the sunshine. If it's raining, go play in the rain puddles. Kick your shoes off, walk across the grass, walk in the dirt, stomp in the puddles with your naked feet. It will elevate your mood. Scientific facts, go Google it. Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful creatures of the world, we have a fly over here. I'm not going to tell you where I am on the platforms because we mentioned certain platforms here and we are noticing that we got a problem. We are losing subscribers on videos where I tell you where to find me. We lose views as well. I have videos where I do not tell you what other platforms I'm on. And I get 200, 300, 400 views, 1,000 views on those videos. I tell you what other alternative platforms to find me on. I get under 50 views per video. And I lose subscribers. So Google Coffee with Kerri-Lynn. I'm everywhere. And you'll be able to find a link that takes you to a platform that you want to watch me on. If you are joining me on YouTube, welcome to my channel. Subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs down. Comment in the comment section below. I'm in the comment section on my long format videos. I love to have discussions with everybody, whether you're a subscriber or you're not a subscriber. We can have a lovely adult conversation in my comment sections. We do that on other videos and it's absolutely amazing. It is 4th of July week. What are you guys doing for the 4th of July? Let me know in the comment section below what you do on the 4th of July. We have a very slow time here in Aroostook County for the 4th of July. We have a few towns that actually do hold 4th of July parades and fireworks and things like that. We don't go to those. We save up all our energy for the festival, the Potato Festival that will be happening in Fort Fairfield in about a week and a half. And it's 5 or 6 consecutive days of all kinds of activities and events, and we're down there all the time for a few days, and we do the craft fair, and we do the parade and the fireworks, and we do the block party, the street dancing that they have, and it's an absolute wonderful time. So if you're vacationing in Aroostook County, that is a great event to take your family to. What we do here on the 4th of July, he and I take a nice, calm, relaxing drive up north. Yes, norther than we already live. We go around up north. We like to do the obscure things on the holiday. Maybe visit the stores, the small stores that are open, the little gift shops. Sometimes we make it to Fort Kent. Sometimes we don't. We go around the lakes. We like to have a nice picnic along the overlook, and I take my little binoculars and I watch everybody boating and jet skiing and water skiing and tubing on the lake. Brings back childhood memories. When I was a kid, I grew up on Lake Winnipesaukee, and we had friends and neighbors that had boats and water skis and tubes, and my mom was phenomenal. My mom was a phenomenal water skier, and she taught us how to water ski. And it was always lovely when you lipped off to her. You got a little sassy at breakfast, and we were going out on the boat, and we were going to go skiing. And my mother would tell whoever was driving that boat that day to drown us. It was always fun. And so it's really nice to watch parents driving the boats with the kids with the skis on the tow line, and they're trying to drown those kids. It's just the 70s and 80s, parents had a different sense of discipline back then, and everybody turned a blind eye to it. It was absolutely crazy. We grew up in quite an amazing time. Ladies and gentlemen, we got the fly back on the camera. That fly lands on that camera lens every single time. It's crazy. I feel like I'm living in a surreal place. It's somewhere between Wag the Dog, All the President's Men, and The West Wing. It's like, Our reality is somewhere in between all three of those TV shows. Predictive programming, right? It's absolutely nuts what is going on since the debate. Everybody thinks that 4th of July week is going to be a slow news week, but it's not. There's a lot going on that people are not reporting on. There's a lot of behind the scenes things happening. And it's absolutely wild. You guys know I'm not a fear channel. I don't do the breaking news thing unless there's actual breaking news. I don't say things that are going to cause fear and panic with my audience, although my audience is prepared for anything because they're smart people. And I have a blind item about something that's going on in the Black Sea. Nothing that should cause fear or anxiety, but something that you need to file away in the back of your mind, because when the truth and reality comes out, you're going to say, I remember we discussed that on Coffee with Kerri-Lynn over the summer. Son of a gun. Look at that. So this little obscure item that I'm going to talk about, traffic. This little obscure item I'm going to talk about, you just tuck it away, and when people argue with you about World War III, we're not going to go to war, there's not going to be a draft and none of that stuff, so you can pull this out of your mind. Don't memory hole it. Just keep it in the file cabinet. So the powers that be, Washington, D.C., the people pulling the levers behind the screen, the Wizard of Oz, have decided that they are going to replace the unmanned drones that are flown over the Black Sea with manned reconnaissance jets. Now, when reconnaissance jets fly in a hostile territory, they have this little sound to let the other side know that they are there in a friendly capacity. They're just kind of flying over what they need to fly over and no harm to you. Well, these particular manned reconnaissance jets are flying quiet. Just a little tidbit, tuck it in the back of your head. Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful creatures of the world, let's get to a bit about what's going on, making this a high impact news week, but it's all behind the scenes. If we go back to before the debate, they whisked President Biden to Camp David before the debate to prep him, also known as hopping him up on the goofballs. The debate came, he failed miserably, and there was every excuse in the book, from he had a cold to it was just a bad night. But his constituency wanted him gone. They were not happy with his performance at the debate. Opinions were formed. His constituency wasn't happy. Clearly, President Trump won, and Joe Biden was whisked back off to Camp David. Over the weekend, there were meetings, and people were reporting on this. There were meetings because, the Biden mafia, they're going to get in trouble. That entire Biden family is going to get in deep doo-doo if Joe Biden steps down. So deals have to be made. Well, it came out on Sunday night, June 30th, that the top 10 Democrats in the United States have decided that Joe Biden should continue to run for another term as president in the condition that he's in. There's more going on than what you think. So now we roll around to July 1st. In the morning of July 1st, Steve Bannon reported to prison to serve out his term for contempt of Congress. We've also had news where Congress was trying to do the same thing to Merrick Garland. Merrick Garland refused to appear before Congress and answer questions, so they're trying to get him on contempt of Congress charges and put him in prison as well. This whole thing's going to hell in a handbasket real quick, ladies and gentlemen. Behind the scenes, it is nasty and it is ugly. Now, also, on July 1st, after all the Steve Bannon news came out, he reported to prison, blah, 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 all that stuff. Everybody's up in arms, aggravated. All the president's men and off to jail they're going to go. Anyways, long story short on this, we get a news report out that SCOTUS has ruled an opinion on President Trump's immunity appeal. SCOTUS, their opinion was to grant presumptive immunity, which makes it difficult, if not near impossible, to discern acts committed as in a personal or a presidential capacity for the sitting president of the United States. So that news broke. Everybody was up in arms, freaking out on the Biden side and the Biden administration. There's more to the story. So they trotted President Biden out at 7:45 last night to give his reaction to the SCOTUS opinion. He doesn't agree. He tried to excoriate that. That wasn't what that was about, and we all know it. Trotting him out at 7:45 at night to complain about what the Supreme Court did was an effort for Jill Biden, Mrs. President, to put her husband in front of the cameras, hopped up on goofballs to say, see, it was a bad debate night. He can still be president because behind the scenes, more than we think is going on. Bill O'Reilly and Tucker Carlson have put out statements. They have been in contact. They have contacts. They know people. People have gotten in touch with them that are deep into the politics of the matter. And the word on the street is that President Biden will be retiring due to health issues. Shockingly. Mrs. President Biden is trying to keep her control, her power, because they all done some really nasty things, and they're all looking at prosecution. They're looking at jail time. So it's really heated what's going on at the White House behind the scenes. Now, what Bill O'Reilly and Tucker Carlson are reporting on is there are whispers in the community that you and I don't belong to. It's a big club, but you and I, we're not in it. We don't belong. We're not of the right stature. We're not of the right political affiliation. Barack Obama and Ron Klain, I can never pronounce his name right, want to have an open DNC. Now, ain't that amazing? DNC convenes, and the DNC will vote for who is going to be run as president, because they don't want Kamala Harris. They don't want her. So this is very reminiscent of what happened during the Nixon era, for which I was not, I was a baby. I was like just born when all this nonsense was going on in the Nixon shenanigans. So what they did was they told the public when Nixon was in deep crap and they wanted him, the powers that be in DC, wanted Nixon done, is they told the public that he was a great president, that he was going to run again, da-da-da-da-da. Don't worry, American public, because they didn't know how to remove or forcibly retire President Nixon. They don't know what to do with Joe Biden either, because they don't want Kamala Harris to be in charge of anything either. So the rumor has it, the blind item here is that Barack Obama and Ron Klain want an open DNC. Now, who are they going to run? who makes sense. They'll do a deal by August, before the DNC convenes. President Biden will probably retire with the health issue. They will pay Kamala Harris off in some way, shape, or form. Maybe give her a judgeship somewhere. Maybe they just pay her off and she goes away. I don't know. But they're going to get rid of her too. And I have a feeling that they are going to try to run Mrs. Michelle Obama. That's my suspicion. It's between her and Gavin Newsom. Why I think it is Mrs. Michelle Obama is because she is very adamant, extremely adamant, upside down and backwards adamant. She does not want to be president of the United States. And Gavin Newsom, Nancy Pelosi's nephew, has expressed that he truly wants to be president of the United States in many, many ways, shapes, and forms. Who is Obama going to have more control over? The man who cites that he really, really, really wants to be president, dictator-in-chief, or the wife that claims she doesn't want the presidency but will, reluctantly serve her country. Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful creatures of the world, this is food for thought today. Remember that while we are celebrating our independence and we think we are being led to believe that it is a very slow news week, there is so much going on behind the curtain with the Wizard of Oz. Make your head spin. We are living in the times of Wag the Dog, All the President's Men, and The West Wing. I wish for everybody to have a lovely 4th of July holiday. And as always, Carpe Diem, because no one promised you a tomorrow.